Michaela Vernava at Gillette Stadium, joined by Bob Condotta, who writes for the Seattle Times, covers the Seattle Seahawks, who are behind us warming up. Bob, thanks for being with us today.
Sure.
Now, we have seen teams have a hard time covering tight end Rob Gronkowski. What will the Seahawks' plan of attack be tonight?
Yeah, well, they had a hard time covering him in the Super Bowl, if you recall as well. Had a key touchdown. He was covered in that on that play by KJ Wright, and number 50 for the Seahawks. You're going to see him get a lot of that work again today. One key for the Seahawks there, though, is Cam Chancellor. They're All-Pro a couple times, strong safety. He'll be back. He has not played the last 4 games. He helps an awful lot with tight ends, especially bigger tight ends. And they play a lot of zone defense as well, and so they try to get the safeties to cover in there. So it tends to be a little bit of a group effort, but Chancellor and KJ Wright are really the key guys to watch. And then Chancellor, the fact that he's back. Their defense has struggled kind of uncommonly the last few weeks a little bit. Getting Chancellor back should help with that a lot.
Now, as for the Seahawks offense, do you think we'll see an uptick in their running game against the Patriots defense?
Well, it would hard to be worse than they were last week. Last week against Buffalo, they had the second lowest yardage total in team history in a game that they won. And right now they are on pace to rush for the fewest yards in team history. So it's really been a struggle the last few weeks. You're probably going to see C.J. Prosise, who's a rookie third-round pick out of Notre Dame. He's probably going to start the game. Kristen Michael, who has been their starter, listed as questionable with a hamstring. He's probably going to play. I think they're looking for ways to get Prosise in there and more anyway. But the other real big X factor is Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, one of the best running quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's really struggled to run this year due to injuries he's had. He sprained an ankle, he sprained an MCL in his knee. The knee is still an issue. He's probably still going to be wearing a knee brace out there today. But I think this is a game they will try to get him to run more, call more zone reads and things like that. They really did none of that against Buffalo. But I think they'll try to do that in this game. And so, maybe he gets 5-6 carries, something like that.
Now, here in New England, we've talked a lot about this being one of the Patriots' biggest challenges coming up on their schedule. Patriots kind of the team to beat right now. Very hot since Tom Brady's come back. What will be the key if the Seahawks want some revenge for Super Bowl 49?
Well, here's one. So I know the Patriots, all week long I've heard the stat about no interceptions. And if they get through this game, first team, 9 straight games to start the season, no interception since 1960. The Seahawks have a great secondary, but they have not been getting very many turnovers this year, sort of oddly. Richard Sherman has 3 interceptions, but other than that, they really haven't been getting that a whole lot. So I'll start there. I'll say if they get an interception or two and kind of flip that a little bit, I think that's one thing they really got to do is get some turnovers. One problem for the Seahawks is their pass rush may not be what it's always been. Michael Bennett, but by far their best defensive lineman, or best interior defensive lineman anyway, is not going to play. So the interior pass rush may not be there. But I think the turnovers and then any sort of running game. If they got 80 yards rushing, it would be just so much better than they've been doing the last few weeks. And if they could do that, keep the Patriots off the field a little bit, I think those would be 2 big keys.
All right, Bob, I think we're in for an exciting one. Thank you. Make sure to keep it on NESN.com for all your Patriots coverage, Seattle Times for all your Seahawks coverage.